Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm Luna from Compressor Coffee Roasters. The DF64 is a very popular grinder right now. It is something that is reliable and it works. So today we'll be mainly focusing on the DF64V. So this is the DF64V. It is a variable speed single dose grinder. It is also a full range grinder, meaning that it can grind anywhere from espresso grind to the pour over grind, which is typically a medium grind, all the way to a cold brew or a French press grind, which is typically a coarse grind. It also has this cool rotating wheel here that adjusts the RPM. It goes from the lowest RPM, which is 800 RPM, to the highest RPM, which is 1800 RPM. This upgraded version of the DF64 also comes with a grind size indicator for easy grind size adjustment, eliminating the need for an external grind size indicator. So, the question of the day is, do I absolutely need this upgrade from the powerhouse that is the DF64? Let's first talk about how the variator affects your coffee. In theory, low RPM gives your coffee more clarity because the low RPM produces less fines in your grinds. In certain brewing methods like the pour over, having too many fines have the possibility of muddling the taste of your coffee or give it a very distinct bitter aftertaste. So in reducing the fines in your coffee by using a slower RPM, you can get a cleaner tasting cup. In theory, on the other hand, high RPM maximizes sweetness and body because there is more fines. Having a wider range of grind particles gives us the possibility of extracting a wider range of tasting notes, making a fuller bodied and a more complex tasting cup. Also in high RPM, there's a lesser possibility of grind retention in your grind chamber just because of the high RPM producing the airflow that's needed to push out the grind from the grind chamber. There's so much more to discuss when it comes to the variator. Like for example, how in lower RPM you would take a longer time to grind. It will be a slower grind, so therefore increasing the contact time between your coffee beans and your grinder, which would mean the heat generated from the coffee grinding would transfer to your grinds, which would increase coffee solubility. In theory, or we can also talk about how different roast levels will behave differently at different speeds, given that a darker roast would be more brittle when compared to a lighter roast, and therefore has a higher possibility of producing more fines on a higher RPM. So if you're asking yourself, should I get this upgrade? What you should be asking is, was that info dump interesting for you? Did what Luna said about coffee clarity, about maximizing sweetness and body, about coffee compound solubility, and about how different roast levels will behave differently at different RPMs, was that interesting for you? If the answer is no, then likely that the DF64V is not something that you would benefit from. There's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting something that works and works well. But if the idea of how many different ways the different RPMs would affect coffee interests you, then you should definitely get this upgrade. In conclusion, if you're someone who loves experimenting on your daily cup of coffee, or if you already have a setup that allows you to tweak many different variables, the DF64V is definitely for you. Alright, thank you so much for joining us in this short video. If you have any questions, you can send us a message on WhatsApp or leave a comment down below. We will get back to you as soon as we can. And as always, stay motivated.